Hiya, welcome back. We're going into Porthmadog. We're entering from the south. We're not sailing in, we're motoring in. We've got wind on the nose. We sail up parallel to the land here, which is Shell Island on our starboard side, avoiding the shoals on our port side here before we make our turn in here. Shell Island is the beginning of an outcrop which crops right out there at sea that you can't see. That's Shell Island. Porthmadog is the outcrop, and there is a cardinal buoy which protects the end of it. You can safely navigate the inshore passage with quite ease. The only thing dangerous here is lobster pots. A very popular camping place this. We put Shell Island to our starboard quarter as we look ahead to what is the fairway buoy. Now it looks like you can go into the inlet of the river if you move more to starboard, but you actually can't. You need to get into the buoyage system. I say you can't, maybe you can, but you shouldn't. You should go towards the fairway buoy until you at least pick number one up and then go from there, because the sands on the outer bar shift. And if the sands on the outer bar shift round, you need to find out where you're going first. When you get to number 4 buoy, which is a port hand buoy, a red can, you take a turn to port from here. It looks like you almost drive at the land. Well, the last few times I've been here, this has been quite the same. So this area doesn't move around too much. The bay ahead of us is golden sands and very secluded. And it's hard to find as well if you don't know your way there. But what a place when you get there. We're a little bit after high water here, which means that this river is now ebbing. That means the current is moving across us. And although we've got a little bit of depth, we need to be aware. This is the direction the water's flowing, and we're at least 45 degrees to that. If we were just to fix the bow on where we were going, the boat would actually lose its course and lose its track. We must head up into the current a little bit to keep the boat on the right direction and check back at the buoy behind us that we haven't slipped any. And if the two buoys are still in a straight line, the green ahead and the red behind, then we know we haven't gone anywhere we shouldn't have gone. Especially as you can see a lot of rocks coming up on our port side, and we're getting closer and closer to them, and we need to hold this course because this is where the deep water actually is. To anybody who's local, this is all just second nature because they do it every single time they go in and out. But to any visitors, sailing your boat towards what looks like dry land and a beach doesn't feel right, let alone anything else. But I'd spoken to the harbour master before we came in, and he said the only buoy that was out of place was number 2. So this green buoy that's bringing us in here at this particular moment in time is in the correct place, and that gives us the gap from that rock to the buoy to get through. You notice the way the surface of the water is quite lively ahead of me. Well, that indicates that there's a deep spot just before it. That's just before it as where the water's coming from. The direction of the water that's flowing is flowed through the deep bit, and that's it surfacing then, and that's what you call a chop. So if you ever see a chop and you know which way the water's running, you can more or less work out where the deep bit is if you haven't got pilotage. There's probably at least 50 metres in between that rock and the buoy. So it's not really a tight corner really. It just feels like when you're heading towards land and you can see a mile of water the other side. Anyway, you can see just how beautiful and secluded this beach is. Here you go through the keyhole. Who lives in a house like this? What a star. Talking about stars, where's my starboard hand buoy? There it is. Best get myself around now. So you go right round this and you head back out, all the way back out there to the next buoy. Or to the next beautiful secluded beach. This little bit of coastline is littered with them. Lovely little places all hidden away. No car parks and no masses. Well, again, while you're travelling, keep your eye on the transits, the last buoy and the next buoy, and make sure you're not slipping with the current anywhere. At least you're slipping away from the rocks here, so that's one good point. Right, as you come up to the next port hand buoy, which is going to be the last port hand buoy or starboard hand buoy you're going to see, that one, you look ahead of yourself and you think there's nothing. No more buoys? Well, just keep going along, keeping the land on your port side. And as you come round the next corner, it'll be very evident where you're supposed to be going. You'll pass a little cove with houses, shops and little businesses around it called Porthmadog. And a little bit ahead of that, you'll see all the boats of Porthmadog and Porthmadog coming into view. The bulk of these boats are moored on fore and aft trots, which means you've got to stay within the divisions of the trots when travelling down. On my starboard side, there's an island. It's a man-made island. It was made of ballast, so it's called Ballast Island. What would happen is when a boat would come in here from wherever it come from in the world for slate, which was the main trade at this place, then it would empty its contents of its ballast out in order to fill itself up with slate to sail away. And every boat did that came in and built an island. All the way up to Porthmadog on the port side is boatworks and boatyards. There's Ballast Island, built of rocks from all over the world. Here's Porthmadog coming into view now with all the boats at the end. The Marina here is run by Madog Yacht Club and it's a private venture on their behalf. They welcome visitors on the outside pontoon and they have a lovely clubhouse to look after you with refreshments and showers and washing machines and everything you're going to need. Porthmadog itself offers just about everything you could want from a town and you're smack bang in the middle of it. There's not much missing here as a holiday destination if you just came and stayed for the week on your boat, and you get a discount for that. Marina facilities include electric and water. I'm not sure where you'd go for diesel and I'm not sure where you'd go for gas. But I am sure there's always somebody willing to help you get these things here. My only warning would be to fin keelers. You do dry out. I've a long keel and I've put one leg out so that I won't fall into the pontoon. There's my one leg. And then I've lashed myself with enough warps to the pontoon so that she can't fall the other way. There's a slight gradient here getting deeper as you go away from the jetty. So I've got the legs set slightly shorter than I would do. And this system works well. Anyway, we're here, we're comfortable. And I'd like to say thanks very much for watching again. And I'll see you soon on the next one.